Hello everyone, and welcome back to RuneScape, where we're finalizing the Catalyst League video series by checking out the rewards and also going over my final thoughts and suggestions for the league in general. But first of all, we've got the Sage here in Lumbridge now. Let's go check them out. We've not imported any points. Would you like to do so? Yes. You are searching for me. Alright, there we go. So we got the Rune Trophy, and all the other trophies are stored. We got 55,790 points, not a bad amount. And then we unlock all of these things. Well, we don't unlock them, but we can buy them, at the very least. And honestly, I don't entirely know what I want to buy. I don't know what Hexy is. It sounds like a pet, honestly. Now, I've heard a lot of people like the Catalyst Aura, so I'm probably going to go ahead and buy that, honestly. Relic Hunter. I think that's an outfit. I've heard Catalyst Reflect is really cool, so I'm going to buy that, just because people say it is. These are apparently something you can buy multiple of, so I do have to be careful. We'll go ahead and buy the Teleport and the rest, because they are mega cheap. I don't know about the Hatchet, Pickaxe, or Harpoon. We can buy those later. We got 31k points left, so I could buy... Let's see. I could buy all of these, and I would basically have no points left. But let's go ahead and redeem what we've got here, and then we will take a look at what we have. Catalyst Aura, ability things. So let me figure this out. I don't really mess with cosmetic stuff all that much, but I assume we need to go to animations, and it'll be in here probably at the end, maybe? No. Search for Kata. There we go. All right. Yeah, this is just the standard one that I've seen. It's not bad. I like it. The Catalyst Meditate Rest. Also pretty nice. Now, Rest you can just apply as many as you want, right? And it'll just use them all. Now, let's look at Reflect. Oh, that is pretty nice. I think I will apply that one. Let me see about Rest. Because I think you can have multiple Rests, right? Yeah, you can. In that case, I will add Catalyst Rest there. Alright, I've gone ahead and found the Catalyst Aura here. I don't think I'll be using that because I find auras in general to be kind of an annoying appearance thing. But that is what it looks like, and I went ahead and confirmed that yes, Hexy is a pet, so we will definitely be buying him, which does mean I can't get all of these. But that's fine. If it works anything like the old school RuneScape leagues, I can come in with points from a later league and buy it then, so it's no actual big loss there. If I care to do it. So, let's see. Hexy. Oh. Huh. Oh, I didn't redeem it yet. Forgot that I have to do that. Alright, now Hexy. There you are. Oh, I forgot about this guy. I had seen him before. For some reason, I thought it'd be a little flying hexagon. But nah, he's just a little guy dressed up like the league design. Pretty good. Alright, so next up, I haven't equipped my trophy yet. There it is. Look at it in all of its glory. Pretty good, I guess. Wish I'd gotten Dragon, but it wasn't that important, really. It would have been a chore to force it through in the last day. Anyway, we still have more points. I don't know if I actually want to buy the rest of these, so we're just going to take a glance here. That is definitely a detonation there. Yep, I'm definitely not going to be using that one. Reflect we've already seen. Catalyst Snapshot. That actually does look pretty good. I will buy that one. I don't know if I'll use it, but I'm willing to at least buy it. And then that one. Yeah, I'm okay with the standard flurry animation, honestly. So for now, I'll hold off. Something I don't know is, will this shop be around forever? I assume we're not going to have the Sage standing around in Lumbridge forever, but it would be weird if the shop went away, because obviously you want to be able to spend your points at any time. So So I don't know about that. But yeah. There's the outfit. Tier 3, Tier 2, Tier 1. All pretty plain. I'm not going to buy those right now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and redeem this. That is all I'm spending at the time, but we've seen everything there is on offer. It's all pretty okay stuff. So let's go ahead and get on to the second part of the video, which I have prepared a document. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. All right, I prepared a document with some ideas just before I started recording. This is not a comprehensive list. It was, you know, like 2 months. I'm sure I've forgotten a lot of my complaints from early on. But we can go over just all the little things I think should have been changed in this league. Of course, I know they're going to be changing a lot for the next one anyway. Some of my ideas might not even be relevant because, for example, auras might not work the same way by the time the next league happens, in which case any complaints about auras is irrelevant. But starting with auras, I think auras should just have been an unlimited thing. Now, people have said this is how they should work in the main game too. Regardless of that, if they didn't, in the leagues, I think you should just activate an aura. It stays activated forever until you deactivate it. Also, just in general, things should have rewarded auras. Like, if you chose Excavator, you should have gotten the Mining aura or whatever. Quarry Master, the Woodcutting one, you get the Lumberjack one. And probably at a later tier, you should have probably just been given all skilling auras just for free, really. Because it felt bad, like doing thieving, and my failure rate is so much higher than the main game just because I don't have 5-finger discount. It's ridiculous. It was not ideal. So that was a big complaint. In terms of other time-related things, Big Game Hunter, I think there should have been either no cooldown after you kill 6 dinosaurs or whatever, or the cooldown should have been significantly shorter, like 15 minutes instead of an hour, so that you wouldn't have to constantly swap around. It's just an unnecessary thing. We don't need to worry about an item economy. There doesn't need to be these big cooldowns, and I'm sure there's other things I'm not thinking of that have similar effects. For example, Priff Thieving, like, probably should have had shorter cooldowns too. Same with boss respawn timers. There were a few bosses where even on fastest, it's just not fast enough. There should be a fasterest option during League or something where the boss basically spawns, I don't know, 3 seconds after it dies, give you just enough time to grab your items. Something like that. You know, I don't know what the fastest time delay is, but it needs to be like half that at least. And then the other time thing, player-owned farm, animal growth, and breeding and stuff should have been running on a faster timer, like 5x speed. Obviously, they used time runes as a hack for that, but I think just in general. Also, that like the happiness gain and all that should have either been tied into a relic or an unlock or something, or just running 5 times faster, because it didn't matter how many times I sped up time if my animals weren't happy. You still had to wait it out. Kind of frustrating. Also, maybe Anachronia in general could have been a little faster before the time runes thing. Like, why not just do a 5x multiplier to the gather rate? You know, why not? I don't see it hurting anything. In terms of Anachronia 2, the totem pieces were a nightmare to try to get. I don't think they were boosted. I never got the Big Game Hunter one. I delayed doing clues because I wanted the Totem of Treasure. I literally never got it. Never got the 3 encounter either. That probably should have been increased too. And then a fun one for drops. Obviously, there's a lot of drops that should have been boosted, but I think a special exception should be made for hero items, you know, like Hazelmir's Signet Ring, the Tavia's Fishing Rod, I'm forgetting the name, Tony's Mattock or whatever. I think those should have like a 100x or 1000x drop rate increase, because they're already, you know, not really that useful because of all the other perks and stuff, but it would just be fun if you could get them, and that way it doesn't feel bad. Like, if there's no boost on them, then if you get an HSR, it's going to feel bad because it's like, oh, I could have gotten that in the main game. But if it's 1000x drop rate, you're like, oh, it's cool, I got it. It doesn't feel bad. And you might not even use it, but hey, you got it. And I think even 1000x, they'd still be really rare. Most players would not get them, even playing the whole league. So I don't think it would hurt. In terms of multipliers too, I think there's a lot of reward currencies that needed boosted, like the big game hunter points. Like, why not boost them at least a little bit? It doesn't have to follow the same boost as everything else, but even like a 2x or 4x boost. Same goes for RuneSpan. It was kind of a nightmare there as well. And there's more I'm not thinking of, but just in general, the drop rate boost or some other kind of boost should be applied to a lot more things, and that especially includes reputation, because nobody's grinding out 100% reputation in Metaphos in a league. Like, maybe if it was 10x, maybe somebody would. I mean, I'm sure somebody probably did, but the point is, it's not fun. It needs to be fixed. Same goes with the farming reputation. Even getting farming 120, I didn't max out farming reputation. It needs to be boosted as well. And they also need to make sure rare drops from like non-combat things are boosted, like big game hunter and skilling and stuff. Like metamorphic geodes, I only got, I think, 2 of them the entire time, and I think something about like the rare item boost might have messed it up. I'm not entirely sure, because you got a ton of them in the base game, but they were exceedingly rare. Until I had tier 3 luck, I don't think I got a single one, which is ridiculous. So that's probably a thing that should be done. Let's see, what else? Alright, in terms of quests, I actually think leaving a lot of quests not auto-completed is okay. However, I do have a somewhat lengthy list of quests I think should have been auto-completed, just so that players get like a quick head start into gaining access to areas and quest lines and things. And that would be Lost City, Tree Gnome Village, Death Plateau, Fremennik Trials, Ichlaren's Little Helper, Lost Tribe, The Giant Dwarf, Recruitment Drive, The Needle Skips, Necromancy, Shiloh Village, Swan Song, Rum Deal, Ghost Ahoy, and Jungle Potion. Kind of an eclectic list. It's mostly the starts of quest lines or things that unlock cities. And a lot of those are things that I actually did. I didn't do Giant Dwarf, but I did most of those other ones in the league, and it was kind of miserable. Basically just early game quests that we've all done a million times, usually both in RuneScape and old school RuneScape. Just get those out of the way, and the rest of the game would feel a lot better. But also maybe just... I had the idea maybe you unlock quest skip tokens by doing quests, so you do a quick quest and then you get a token that you can use to skip a longer quest. Or maybe like each tier you get a few quest skip tokens, just something. I don't think skipping every quest is ideal, because putting points behind quests is fun to an extent, but just take some of the tedium out of it. Get rid of some of those older quests, some of those entry-level quests that are boring and just nobody wants to do over and over. Just like start the game. Oh, you can go to all these places if you want, and if you want more, do some quests, basically. I think that would have brought a lot less complaints overall. And I do like unlocking things without doing the quests like they did, but there's probably a few more things they could unlock. Like archaeology, there were some issues with unlocks there. Oh, you know, dig site should be auto-completed too. I didn't put it on the list. That was annoying. And probably archaeology qualifications should be auto-completed. And ancient invention was a big thing. Ancient summoning as well, I think. I didn't even bother unlocking that. But okay, so moving on to things related to the various relics. Obviously, there will be a focus on relics that I chose, but I went into a few other things too. So, first thing, the tools should have been augmentable that you unlocked. It's ridiculous that they weren't. Just do it. Like, or make it work like the binding rod, where they're not augmentable, but you can just put a perk on them anyway. You know? It's just like automatically a pre-augmented item. I see no reason to not allow it. It just makes sense. So that was the first thing. Second thing, the teleports. They're not that exciting, really. Like in old school RuneScape, Last Recall was amazing, game-changing. I assume they didn't include it because it would have been amazing and also probably requires a lot of technical work. You know, a lot of instances and things could get glitched up. Probably not something you can rush through in RuneScape 3. Probably was a lot of work in old school too, but RuneScape 3 has even more years of nonsense built up that they would have to worry about testing. But regardless of that, just the amount of teleports freely available in RuneScape 3, you know, you get Max Guild teleport, you get War's Retreat, you get the Kandarin teleport, all free unlimited teleports, and then you get to Fairy Rings and Spirit Trees from there, and you can get almost anywhere in the game relatively quickly. So the big thing I think for that is it should be a spell. It should have just been a green spell in here, and when you click it, it brings up the menu. And you should have also been able to favorite your last used or even just pin one either way, because it was annoying having to go back and forth. So it would have been nice if you could pin one. But yeah, I think having it as an item was just annoying. You shouldn't have to think about keeping the item with you for the teleport. We got the action bars for a reason. Just put the teleport on there and let it be done. I think that would have been a lot more fun. Going up another tier, so for the clue connoisseur, I think there was an issue with too many puzzles in clues. This has always been an issue in my mind, and I've long said there should be a limit of one puzzle per type per clue. So like you can get one sliding puzzle and then no more sliding puzzles until that trail is done, or whatever. And I think that would be a good idea, or maybe just one puzzle overall per trail for leagues. Either one of those would be acceptable compared to what we had. Or they could just have an X% chance to auto-complete the puzzle whenever you open it. That would also be fine. And outside of that, the hidey holes, or whatever they're called, I think they should have been pre-built whenever you selected it. And they should only require the first item in the list of 3 items that they require. And then just work from that. That way, you still have to put some effort to build them up, but especially for the higher tier ones, you actually have a reasonable chance of filling a lot of them if you go that route. Personally, I just didn't bother filling a single one. I didn't even get the task for filling one because it just didn't seem worth it. I just reset it over and over. But it was frustrating having to read it to see if it was one I could do, and then teleport. And even if you have... well, for one thing, you can't put clues on here to read them because they're like a separate instance for each type of clue. So I couldn't be like, oh, just put an easy clue, medium clue, etc. up here and then tap a key. So I had to go down here, click it, read it, and then you had to close it to press the other keybind to teleport to it, because that doesn't work when the clue's open, which is probably something technical that they should fix. You should be able to use keybinds whenever you have a clue open. That would be nice. But that's not a league issue. That's just a game issue. And that's it for clues. In terms of Production Master, I didn't choose it, but I do think the part about spawning Saren Spirits, Divine Blessings, and all that, I think the Divine Blessings especially, but probably also Saren Spirits, should have just been redeemed, auto-captured. I know there's a prayer for that, or a spell, one of the two. I've never used it. But I think it'd just be annoying getting that constant spam of sound for things that you probably, for the most part, don't need. With Perfection, Divine Blessings are actually completely useless, and getting that noise constantly would have been annoying. I don't know if there was an option to disable them, but just in general, just to make it a bit more competitive, I think it wouldn't hurt to auto do those ones. You can leave the XP ones, the manifests or whatever, the other two, you could leave those as something you have to click. But yeah, I think that would have been nice. In terms of the combat tier, I'm kind of assuming there's going to be big changes in the whole balance of the combat tier, so I'm not going to go into like, oh, magic should have been more powerful by doing this, and etc, etc. But just in general, I think it should have unlocked all combat auras just out of the gate, and I think that it should have reduced the degradation rate on equipment, because I did have, I think, some of my primal equipment degrade on me in the league, and I wasn't even using that much because I switched to the mage equipment for the most part. So it would have been nice, maybe 50% or more degradation reducing, because do we really need to be spending money on repairing equipment? I don't think so. You could eliminate it entirely if you wanted. it probably wouldn't matter. But yeah, that's it for the combat tier. I'm not gonna waste much time on that. In terms of perfections, let's see. Struggling on what I wrote here. Okay, I figured it out. So yeah, whenever you were disassembling stuff, like let's say you're sitting at the construction shop buying magic stones and disassembling them, it was annoying because whenever it would save one, it wouldn't try to disassemble it again. So then you would just end up with ever decreasing amounts. Like if you didn't have enough money to buy more, you'd just be like dragging the same one over and over until it finally went away. I think it should have just kept auto disassembling them as they were saved up until it hit the 60 limit or whatever it was. That would have been a nice little quality of life. Outside of that, I'm not going to complain too much. I do think that the unlimited resources kind of make the whole randomness pointless, and you might as well just let us choose our perks at that point and let it be done with it. But, you know, if they want to make us randomly do things, whatever, I guess. But it did seem a bit silly. And in terms of Ascension, I think that the book should have been, like, combinable with the Underworld Grimoire so that you could have, like, the bone features and all that in your slot. I don't know, it just feels... It felt bad to have to choose between which one's in the slot. But that's it. I don't really have much to say about the other Tier 7 ones just because I didn't choose them. And I think they were overall pretty good. I'm sure if I had chosen them, I might have a little nitpick here or there. But it was okay. Overall, there was bigger things to worry about than that. And outside of that, I do think that there should have been more tiers. But I think it should have just been rejuvenated. There should have been a couple, at least 2 rejuvenated tiers beyond Tier 7 on the journey to Dragon, or even beyond Dragon, for that matter. Like, maybe when you hit Rune tier, you get a rejuvenated, and then when you hit Dragon tier, you get a rejuvenated. And it should just let you choose... Honestly, I could say any of the first 4 tiers, or 5 even. I feel like maybe choosing more Tier 7s might be a bit overpowered. But maybe even Tier 6. Especially for the Dragon one. But yeah, it just would be nice, I think. I don't think it hurts to let people... Once they've gotten that far in the league, kind of branch out on what they've done. Like, you've already done the whole thing. Like, the main part of the league is the journey. And once you've completed the journey, does it really hurt to let you have some of the fun toys that the other people had? I don't think it does. So, and even if they wanted to have it keep going, like, maybe you get a rejuvenated every 10k points, and by the time you max out points, you've got almost every single relic. I don't think that would be necessarily a bad idea. I don't think it would hurt the league all that much, and might encourage people to keep playing longer so that they could play around, like have 2 or 3 combat styles chosen maybe. I don't know. Would that be so bad? I don't think so. Anyway, this video has been long enough, and it's mostly just been me standing around in Lumbridge talking, so I think we will go ahead and end it here. But I did want to get my thoughts out there, even if nobody at Jagex ever sees them. And plenty of other people have given their opinions in like long Reddit threads and all that, but this is where I give my opinion. I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna go finish up Gridmaster, and then we're gonna get to work on this account. I've got quests to do, things to do. I've been doing woodcutting because I finally did Eternal Magic Trees in the league, and I was like, I'm a kind of a woodcutting guy. Why have I not bothered with these yet in the main game? So there'll probably be an episode on that coming up soon. Just a little checking them out thing like I did for 110 mining and smithing as well. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. Bye!